to the channel. Welcome back, Explorers. My name's Jack.
I'm Jess.
This is a little bit of a different video, and I just want to preface it by saying to all the new people that come and watch this because of the title of the video, couple of housekeeping rules. Number one, I don't care how cool you think you are in the weed scene in the UK. I don't care how long you've been growing, blah, 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 blah. This is literally just our review of Product Earth 2024.
Yes.
Just want to give like the most real, honest review we can of what we experience.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, do you know what? Let's start with the good.
Yes. So, coming at it from a medical patient point of view.
And someone that's never been to a convention like this.
Literally never been. I've heard about it. I've seen things on Instagram about it. I saw a lot of the initial negativity at the fact that it was going to be in London. Because the reason I didn't go to any other events, unlike Jack here, I couldn't get there. So this was a complete new experience for me. I kind of was a bit apprehensive going in purely because obviously where, yes, medical is legal, we're still fighting against, the fact that it's illegal in the UK in general. So I was kind of a bit nervous. I was a little bit cautious about what kind of clientele it was going to drive in. I kind of had heard a lot on Instagram about police presence going to be quite strong there, and that kind of made me a bit nervous. But actually, let's get into the day. So it started, according to the event, it started at 11. So we got
Which
there,
is bollocks.
Yeah,
That's a load of bollocks.
We got there about 11:15 at that. No parking. It was at the Drum Sheds in Tottenham, which actually I would really, that is just not a great venue for a lot of Londoners. So got there. There was already a queue. Quite cool. Can't remember the name of the company, but they were kind of handing out feminized seeds. And then what time did we actually get in?
About 20 to 1.
Yeah.
About 12:40 in the day. They said they were going to start at 11, which again, we wanted to make a whole day of it.
Yeah.
Because if it was anything like the last ones, it wasn't going to be, and we knew that.
Well, I didn't, but you did, definitely.
But we wanted to make a day of it. So we get there at 11. The time, it's supposed to start at 11. We got there 11:15, 11:20. We're lining up. 11:30, 11:40, 11:45. About 10 to 12, they start to shift the initial line in, and it's like soft openings for the lines. So we went from one bit of queuing to another bit of queuing to another bit of queuing because they had 2 security guards working the entire line.
Literally 2.
Searching bodies, in-depth bag searches and body searches by 2 geezers.
Yeah. Which was kind of insane. And that's the other thing as well, it was 2 guys. So I didn't get body searched at all. So
if you wanted to bring anything in, just give it to your bird. Because the only
Exactly.
female security officer they had was doing prescription checks.
yeah. I didn't take my prescription.
But again, we got in.
But yeah, we got in, and it's like you'd expect any kind of like trade event, stalls.
If there's any footage worth showing,
We'll show it.
it will be put somewhere in this
Around
video.
it.
But I'll be honest.
There's not much point, to be honest. It was the thing that kind of was crazy to me is that a lot of the vendors hadn't even finished setting up, so I don't know what kind of happened there. It was almost like they were still kind of waking up and kind of still kind of getting ready.
But bearing in mind, we got in an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes after the opening time.
Yeah, so that was a bit weird.
And people were still setting up. No one wanted to talk. All the vendors were like too busy. And it's like, no, this is the time when you're supposed to be talking to the people.
Exactly. Funny, we've said we're going to start with the
But
positive
you know
stuff.
what? No, because there ain't
it's
much.
True. No, it's
okay,
true.
Here's the positives from my point of the day. Herbman hustling.
Yes.
Absolute diamond of a geezer.
Hempico.
Wait, I'll get to it.
Oh, cool.
I want to talk more about him. Literally, he was busy as fuck. He had people all around him, but he made time for every person that came and spoke to him. So shout out to you. I got a cool t-shirt from you. It's currently drying.
Yes.
It is what it is. Hempico, shout out to you guys, to the point where when a group of Americans have flown in that day, that morning, and they've got more energy and they're ready for the day more than any of the other stalls, pretty much other than Herbman Hustling. that's a bit shameful.
I think the other thing as well, so I mentioned Hemper.co a minute ago, and
Yeah.
the reason I mentioned them is because one of the biggest problems that was there is there was no cash point inside. Nobody told us we would need cash.
I know that sounds stupid, and it's like, oh, well, that's a given. Look at where you are. It's an event.
But at the same time, it's not a given because since COVID, a lot of people have become cashless. So you carry your card around.
Some sort of sign. There wasn't a cash point in there.
Yeah.
None of the security guards. No one knew the area.
No
one knew if there was a cash point nearby.
So that was because I wanted to buy something from Hemper.co and we had to leave to go and get cash. But what I loved about Hemper.co is as we came back in, he grabbed us and he was like, I've got the card machine working.
Oh yeah, that's just because they wanted money.
Well, I know, but it was nice of them to also recognise us as we literally walked back in. And obviously did our purchase. That was awesome. That was sweet. I think the one company that also just shone through everybody for me was PAX.
Yeah. Shout out to Kyle.
PAX. Yep, shout out to Kyle.
Kyle at PAX.
He is awesome. They were really attentive, and again, the vendors hadn't been given any Wi-Fi, which is why a lot of them had issues with their card machines. And they spent, we were standing at PAX for maybe like 45 minutes.
Basically, I'm just going to chime in a bit because it seems like there ain't much good in it now that we're actually talking about it. Other than realistically, there was a glass blowing area that was pretty cool, but it was tiny.
Yeah.
And there was no...
It was like shoved in the corner.
There was no come and look at these sort of artists doing it. It was more like...
They were just there.
You know what?
You know, if you just happened to walk past them, it was like, oh, cool, someone's glass blowing. There was no kind of like,
I'm going to break down my day.
Yeah.
We got there, not enough security to make the day go quickly. Like, literally, we were stood in a line for well over an hour after the opening time.
Yeah.
And we were, the first 50?
Yeah,
we were within the first 50 people in.
Yeah.
The fact that you've told everyone it's starting at 11 when it didn't, that's a problem. You had maybe 15, 20 security that I saw over the entire event. Again, I'm not one that needs I don't want it bolstered to the fucking walls with geezers everywhere.
No, but...
But when I've got to look around to ask for help, because there's no sign postage, there's no one around in I'm here for help. There's
that's the thing.
Nothing.
There was no one that you
There was
could
nothing.
speak to.
So it's again, it ain't a massive venue, but when I needed to know if there's a cash point inside, it took me 20 minutes?
Easy.
To find a singular security guard. What do you mean you don't know if there's a cash point on site?
Yeah.
The DJs that they had there, you did not know the clientele you had. If you're the DJ in a smoking area that's only the size of, let's be real, a smoking area of an office block.
Yeah.
But when I'm literally stood next to my missus screaming in her ear, should we go? And she's going, what?
Yeah, it was a bit much. But no, I mean, it was an interesting event.
It wasn't.
Well, no, it was interesting for me from a standpoint to see how it could have been done right. I think the other biggest thing is obviously the reasons why the second day got cancelled, which we luckily didn't have tickets for.
Yeah, we waited to make this video to see what the actual reason was, because we heard that there were fights and that there were people storming the event, that there was drug raids. The internet loves to speculate.
We waited for Product Earth.
Product Earth have said, hey, too many people were smoking inside and you're not allowed to smoke inside.
Which I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, it's a weed convention. No, listen, it's not been legal to smoke inside in the UK for, 10 years now, more? Something like that. So you should know, regardless of the event you're at, the outside area, everyone was smoking, and that was fine. No one had an issue with that. It was the smoking indoors. And I feel like that was just kind of ignorance on a lot of the time.
Do you know what? I'm just going to... This is taking too long. I didn't want it to be a long video. No, not like that. I didn't want to do a long shitting on it video. Here's the long story short. We got there early to have a whole day and make a day of it. We were done looking at literally every vendor, stall, everything within
15 minutes.
15 or 20 minutes. And that was an empty with the first 50 in.
Yeah.
And the people that were there, half of them didn't want to talk to you. They were too busy looking around at everything else, or every fake-titted bimbo. Literally, I'm not going to say the company because, again, I don't think that this one person is representative
because
of
the company
company.
itself is pretty cool.
There were two companies actually that really fucked me off. In conversation,
mid-conversation,
with the owner of the company.
Oh my god! I didn't realise
Yes,
that was the owner.
yes.
Oh, that makes it so
having
much
a
worse.
conversation. Now you see why I'm like,
makes it so
cheers,
much
mate.
worse. I thought it was just
Conversation. Having a chat about their product, saying how much I like their products, and out of nowhere, this literal convention bimbo where they've got one of those shirts on that's up here with fake tits and they look like Skeletor, come bouncing over, and he literally, talking face to me, just went, ah, and he walked off. Hugged her, chatted with her, and then come back to me. I was like, have a good day, mate. Like
I do appreciate, obviously, like with a lot of these conventions, you get to know people, but if you are mid-conversation with someone that's interested about your product, you say to that other person that you know, give me a sec, let me just deal with this customer.
Especially if you're on camera.
Yeah.
Because I asked everyone, this is the fucked up thing, I asked everyone when I went to their stall,
Are you okay?
Are you cool with me filming? Purely because I wanted non-stop footage, that if I was going to make a vlog, there was footage. I don't even want to make a vlog now.
A lot of people were fine with it. In fact, some of them actually shouted out their own companies, so maybe there'll be some things, but at the same time, it was,
It's the few that ruin it for the many, and that comes down to vendors and the clientele that they had. There was a definite shift in the client base halfway through the day.
Yeah.
When we got there, she made the joke of, they don't expect stoners to be here at 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm surprised they're open.
Literally did.
And that's true, because the people that were there early definitely seemed more the client base for, and I'm not just one of these people that's like, medical weed's the best, because let's be honest, it's got a long way to go in England.
Got a long way to go. A long way.
But you could tell that this clientele was there for the learning, the actual what's coming, As it got on to about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, it just turned into every single clout chaser, every geezer that thinks he's hood, everyone that thinks he's a gangster, everyone that thinks because they've shifted a little bit of weight in their time, they think they're fucking Pablo Escobar. And it's like, and I understand that there's dickheads everywhere, but like, if we're trying to break that stigma a little bit and be taken a little bit more seriously, you rolling through with 40 goons bunning 5 fucking gram like joints in the middle of the gaff.
You can understand why it got closed down.
But then again, it's on both parties.
Oh my god, 100%.
It's like, it seems to me like it was just like a lot of people that went there, you could tell that because they're allowed to talk about weed or they're around weed legally, it's like, weed, I've got weed, look everyone, I've got weed. And it's like, you're 37 years old, geez, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, you're not with your friends and you're 15 years old.
It just, and all, other than the few like, of the people stands, Herman Hustling, Dank of England, those kind of people, Clouds.
Yeah, Clouds, they were awesome.
I can't remember where I was going with it because I'm just so...
I think it was just very cool.
When you see the people that were clearly with the AAA lanyards and clearly they're the people that are putting the money into it, all being over the age of 60, white and greying, that instantly showed me what kind of convention we were going to be in for. It was more like a home show than it was a weed convention.
It was more.
Do you know, like if you've ever been to where you buy tiles or brickwork, where you go to a convention and it's like they're selling boats or fucking houses or like whatever it is.
Trinkets,
It was more like a genuine corporate convention than a cannabis coming together of the community. That's it. Agree. There were some good parts. Like I said, Herbman Hustling, Hempico, the glass blowing, Pax, Kyle from Pax. Honestly, they went above and beyond. And I'm not, I'll glaze all day long. I don't give a fuck whatever you dickheads say. Like, when everyone else that day couldn't be asked to even talk to you, granted Pax they have to because it's like a corporation, but it wasn't. There were two types of vendors other than a real vendor. There was a vendor that didn't give a fuck about you, and then there was the vendor that pretended to give a fuck about you. And they're just the worst, because the ones that didn't care, at least you knew, alright, they don't care. The ones that don't, that are pretending to care, they're like, oh yeah, it's oh yeah,
Yeah. So,
oh yeah, and you're like, alright, bruv, you're clearly not interested. Cool.
yeah. Whereas the companies like PAX that actually, I bought something. I just think it could have been such a good way of showing, especially London, where obviously all the governments are and everything like that. It could have been such a good way of showing that weed isn't this massive, bad, scary thing, and it actually ended up proving.
The haters and all these old people that are going to be like, see, it's just for hooligans and street rats and street thugs and da da da. You lot have just given them a nice little pedestal. The one time we're given a convention and none of yous respect it.
Yeah.
But it's also very much on Product Earth.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough enforcement of the rules.
Yeah.
Including on vendors. Now, this is the thing. You want to come at all of us for being the problem. Why is it when I'm walking past certain vendor stalls, are they rolling up 5 gram rosin
Giant, yeah.
donut holes?
slips,
Do you know what I mean? And then they're just, and the fucking clouds coming from there is worse than anywhere else in the building. But you want to blame.
I think it goes to show that whole thing is an outdoor venue kind of event, like it has been for the last however many years. I think
9 years. 9 years.
It's always been outside, and I think I see what they tried to do coming to London, but it failed.
Long story short, great idea.
Awful execution.
Horrific execution.
Just awful. Yeah.
Other than that, listen, Product Earth. If you're on again next year, we'll probably come again. I've been a couple of, you know what I mean? But like, make it a bit more. There has to be a middle ground. If you're not comfortable with slamming all of these big vendors in the middle of a field, make it accessible. Make it somewhere where it's like a convention centre on a big bit of land.
Yeah.
Or even like a wedding venue on a big bit of land. Because guess what? That stupid smoking area that you provided.
No.
Other than that,
it is what it is.
I wanted to come in with some positivity, and then as soon as we started talking about it, I was just like, you know what?
Like you said, other than the specific companies, like it just wasn't very well run, and
there will be some reviews on some of the stuff we bought from there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But
it just could have been better.
Better, could have been.
Yeah, it should have been.
Other than that, have yourselves a great day. Be well, and bye bye.